Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to the Girl Talk Oracle podcast. I'm your host Kiera. Over here on this podcast, we get into all things self-love, healing, leveling up, and becoming the best version of yourself. Happy Monday, welcome back. I hope y'all are doing good this week. Let's start this week off fresh. I did miss last week because it was Memorial Day. Now I'm actually gonna lie real quick because y'all know Scorpios are liars. It wasn't because of the holiday. I could have prepared. That sounds so weird. I could have prepared myself to film an episode and have it like pre-recorded and ready to go like I've been doing. But I have been in this energy of just like I ain't been acting like I wanted y'all. Like, and I'm just being 100% honest with y'all. Like, I don't know what's been going on with me, but like I mean, I kind of do, but I kind of don't. It's like a more of a I gotta just like keep I'm at the part where I gotta push myself, like, cause sometimes I'm in flow and it's easy, and I could just push, and it's easy, cause I'm going. It's so funny because this episode is about to be the episode that we're getting into, as you can read by the title, is about your purpose. And I feel like when I am going against my purpose, I get so burnt out and tired that I can't like do anything, the stuff that I'm supposed to be doing, right? Because I've been doing so many different sidetracks and tasks and stuff like that. And it's like when I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, it's like everything flows fluid. And the image that I'm getting, because I've been keeping up with the girl from that's sailing across the Pacific from California to Hawaii, and I'm just interested, and a lot of people are upset that she's doing it because it's like, why would you put yourself in that predicament? But it's like, come on now, like, you know what I mean? Like that's the goal that she wants to accomplish. So I've been keeping up with that. So I've been learning a lot of stuff about the ocean, the currents, and stuff like that, whatever. And because she's rowing, it's like it's hard for her to row because when the wind is going in the opposite direction that you're trying to go, it's hard for you to row. And sometimes you get knocked off course, but you're going against the wind. So trying to go back in that direction is like harder for you, right? And that's what I want y'all to imagine, like with me doing all this extra shit that I'm like, spirit's like, girl, you was on track. Stay focused. Don't get, have fun, but don't get too off track to where you are not on the path that you're meant to be on, right? And she recently just got back on track because the wind is actually pushing her in the direction that she wants to go in, and it's easier, it's more of a flow. I hope y'all getting what I'm trying to say. Basically, it's like when I'm not focused on what I'm supposed to be doing, and it's not that I don't want to be focused on it, it's just sometimes I get in these moods where I don't feel like doing something, and instead of doing that, I'm going to do something fun to kind of like give me that dopamine hit because I'm kind of drained. So like right now, my guilty pleasure is basically just um I be posting quotes on social media. Like that's one of my guilty pleasures right now because it's just fun to do. I'm not expecting anything out of it. I'm kind of just doing it because it's just fun. I'm also repurposing old content just because I like the content, not because I'm trying to go viral or I'm trying to like do too much, if you know what I mean. So basically, that is where I've been, and not like where I've been because I've been on the podcast, but like that's what I've been up to the last like 2 weeks where y'all haven't seen me or whatever. And yeah, so basically, I'm getting back on my path. So in this episode today, we're going to be talking about finding your purpose in life. And yeah, so let's go ahead and jump straight into Oracle Corner because I talked enough. I talked for like 4 minutes already. So in Oracle Corner today, we're going to be talking about being too comfortable because there's a such thing as being too comfortable when you are, seeking to find what path you're meant to be on. When you stay in places of comfort, you know what I mean? And I'm going to keep using the, um, I can't even think of her name, the girl that's going across the ocean. If she stayed in her comfort zone, like she will never accomplish any of her goals. If she allowed the world and fear to hold her back, she will never be accomplishing her goal right now. Yes, it's going to take her a little amount of time to get to her destination, but the fact that she's not afraid, there's a lot of people, myself included, that's afraid of her goals. Like I'm afraid of what she's doing, but I'm actually inspired. It's more of a, even though I wouldn't go across the ocean, it's still an inspiration for me because it's like no matter what other people are saying, I'm going to make myself uncomfortable so that I can accomplish the things that I need to accomplish in my life. I'm not going to allow what other people are saying and, the fears that other people have to stop me from going after my goals. It's so many times where, um, people have said like, oh, I can't do that. Like, even just on social media, not even my like everyday life, but just on social media, people are like, get up and go to work and, da 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 da. Like, why are you, you posting videos, you're not getting paid for it. I don't got it in me to be posting them videos all day and not, and then they see the success of the person who did that for years and they're like, dang, I wish I can be as successful as them. It's like, well, you could have if you only had the mindset to make yourself uncomfortable. Everything in your life is not going to be comfortable. If you are comfortable, it's because you're not going after the things that you're meant to go after in your life. If you are too comfortable, that's a sign that the universe is saying, hey, either you make yourself uncomfortable or we're going to do it for you. And I'm going to tell you firsthand, you do not want the universe to come and make you uncomfortable and shake your shit up, because once they get the hold of them ankles, baby, they're not letting you go until you dizzy. And you can see like, okay, I got to get up out of here. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't get too stuck in your everyday habits, your everyday routine to where you don't want change. You're like, yeah, I'm happy. And it's okay to be happy with where you are in life. But if your soul has always been a soul who craves more, you're never going to be happy being comfortable. No matter if you are working a great job, making a lot of money, no matter if you got the nicest house. You see this a lot in a lot of people who are wealthy. I'm not talking about rich, I'm talking about wealthy. There's a lot of wealthy people in this world who often say that the money the money is not everything, and it feels like something else is missing, and that's because they got the money but they're not going after their purpose. Just because you got money don't mean that you're supposed to be rich and wealthy and just comfortable living on an island, riding boats and on yachts and shit and just living lavish. It's okay to do that stuff sometimes, but a lot of people miss their calling. And I'm talking about wealthy and I'm also talking about poor. A lot of people miss their calling because they're too comfortable. A lot of poor people, and the thing about poor people being comfortable and the rich people being comfortable is the rich people have the money to change their comfortability. Poor people do not. And I was just recently talking to my aunt about this the other day. We kind of gonna go off track real quick, but I was just talking to my aunt about this the other day. Me and my auntie been having some great ass conversations, and we was talking about how the system is set up in the world and how the world is actually designed to keep poor and rich and wealthy. Like, there's no reason that they want a middle class. Like, why would they want us to have a middle class? And it's like, because the way I look at it, and I'm kind of like one of the people that will be complacent in middle class as long as my funds and my bills are paid and then the money to continue to roll in. I will be complacent. I don't have to be stupid funky rich. Like, of course, let that money flow. Okay, but the conversation we were having was about how systems are set in place to keep poor people comfortable. It's like, if you're on government assistance, let's say food stamps. I've been on food stamps before. Should I want them back? Okay. Um, let's say you're on food stamps and you go get a job and you're making, let's say, $15 when you got on food stamps, and they give you 100, 200, however much they get you based on how many kids you got. Y'all know how the system works. And then you go and make 16, $17 and they take your food stamps, but now you're living paycheck to paycheck. You can't afford the food. So in the mindset, somebody that's comfortable or somebody that got mouths to feed is going to go back to a lower paying job so that they can still qualify for the benefits. So that way they never reach for higher and want to go higher, because that little bitty section in the middle where you got to struggle, because middle class struggle more than anybody else. That little bit in the section where you got to struggle before you get wealthy is so uncomfortable that you would rather go back to being comfortable and making less money so that you can get the benefits that you qualify for. This goes even into public housing, child care, because child care is so expensive. It's like, if I got to pay a $600 child care bill or just make $1 less on my paycheck to qualify, what do you think the people are going to do? They're going to make that dollar less. So, and that's what I mean about like being too comfortable. Sometimes we get too comfortable to where we don't chase our dreams. So, like the person that, is settling for less, that's poor, is supposed to go for more and thrive for more so that they could be a testimony to the shit that they overcame so that they can get other people to where they are and, get other people out that cycle, out the mindset of, you don't have to settle for this. The system is broken, but that doesn't mean you have to stay underneath the broken system. you know and it could even just be you advocating in the communities. You get so rich that you're able to help and provide for these women. um let's say you make a lot of money, right? You're poor, you success, you I can't even get it out. You're poor, turn successful, wealthy, and you go back and give to your community. Let's say by paying people's rent, you know, that might help the community out so much because that'll help a mother who's trying to make more, but that 1 month in between, she couldn't afford her rent because they just cut her stamps off or they just cut her childcare. You know what I'm saying? So she had to miss a couple of days of work because she only had part-time childcare. I hope I'm making sense, but like it really all boils down to just being okay with getting uncomfortable. And I know it's hard with like all of the I know that it's hard with all of the systems that we have set up in the world today. The systems are not designed for us to go above a certain percent when it comes to our income. And then when you do go above a certain percent, I feel like there's things that's put in place to cap you for real because you're not supposed to go over a certain, mark to get over whoever the richest person in the world is. You know what I mean? Um, but let's go ahead and get into the affirmation of the week. So, the affirmation of the week is if your soul is calling, answer the phone. If your soul is calling, pick that phone up, answer it, talk, get it done, handle what you got to handle. Because the one thing about your soul and your soul's purpose is when your soul is calling you to do something, you will be uncomfortable. And that's the thing I wanted to kind of connect from Oracle Corner with like your soul's calling and being uncomfortable or being too comfortable is that when a person is meant to be more and they know that in their soul, the what's in this tangible world does not matter to us. And I'm saying us because I'm one of those people. What's in this tangible world does not matter to us. It does not matter to us because we know that because I'm walking the path that I'm supposed to walk, everything that I need along the way, the universe will provide for me. And I'm not talking about what I want, I'm talking about what I need. Whatever I need will be provided to me because that's what I need to be on my path, following my purpose. The universe is providing all of that because that is what I signed up for before I came here. If I'm off track and I'm just doing shit for fun, the universe is going to make me pay for that. That's your habits. It's like the universe is the parent. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to help you get through school. But anything that you want to do, all the party and all the fun you want to have, that's out of your expense. If you want extra and you want more, you need to get you a job and you need to handle it. But as long as you are on the path that you're meant to be on, it's like the image that I'm getting is like this is horrible, but the image that I'm getting is from like what is that called? Hunger Games, where they were in the game and you had people sending them stuff that they actually needed to help them. But other than that, they were out there on their own. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the universe dropped you little parachutes here and there. And that parachute might be money to help you with your finances. It might be something, some food, It might just be a family member, they get a little nudge to come help you out and bring you some food or, say, hey, do you need anything? Invite you to the cookout. And they don't even realize you ain't have shit to eat that day. So it's all connected. And as long as you are following your purpose and answering that phone, answering that call, making sure you're on the right path, you will be provided for. And I am a testimony to that. Anytime that I lacked or didn't have, the universe made sure, even if I had to wait just a little bit longer, they said, even if I had to wait a little longer, the universe showed up every single time. Even if I got to wait till the last minute, the last second, the universe showed up. And that is something that like I'm forever grateful for. All right, ladies, so let's go ahead and get into read the room. First thing I want to talk about is being unhappy when you are on the wrong path. Um, and all I can do is give testimony for myself. When I'm on the wrong path, it's like I just told y'all about the reference from the girl sailing across the ocean. It's like her hands are so bruised because she's rowing against the wind, right? And that's how it feels when you are on the wrong path. And sometimes you don't always see it clearly. You don't understand like why you feel drained or why you feel the way you do. This could even just being in the wrong relationship. It could be being at the wrong job, being in the wrong town. Um, you will feel uncomfortable. You will feel out of place, or you will feel like there is something missing, but you don't know what that something is. It's kind of like your body is a puzzle, and when you are not on, following your purpose, it will feel like a couple puzzle pieces are missing, and you will feel like that. You will feel like that throughout your life because that's just normal. You don't come here already on your path, right? You got to kind of the universe sends you little signals, and you got to kind of find your way, right? I was actually, this is another conversation I was having with my aunt. It's like I was trying to explain to her, because sometimes I have to get visuals sometimes because the way I explain things don't make sense. Just imagine the universe, God, your higher power, your higher source, as the person playing the sim. And when they need you to go eat, when they need you to go pick some money up, when they need you to go to work, they take the controller, the mouse, whatever the case, and click on that item for you to go to it. They don't scream into the video game and say, go over there, do this, because they physically cannot do that because it's in two different realms, right? So when the universe is guiding you towards your purpose, you will see what we call synchronicities. You will see numbers repeating. You will see different symbols repeating. So it's kind of like that mouse click, that game click, that controller click could be you seeing a butterfly that day. It could be you seeing an angel number that day. It could be you just keep seeing the same color car. It's like, hey, look at this car. Hey, look at this butterfly. I need you to pay attention because I'm kind of guiding you in the way that you're supposed to go. Another visual that I'm getting in my mind, because maybe this might resonate with somebody. If you watched 100, then you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. When Clark got into she got the chip implanted into her in her brain. So she was with Lexa. Oh, I love this episode because I just miss Lexa so much. But when she was with Lexa, it's kind of like the alley was sending her the infinity symbol in the dreams. It was in the girl's hair. It was on the walking traffic lights. It was on everything. And then even Raven at a certain point put a raven on the wall to let Clark know, hey, you need to go in here. So that's kind of like what I'm saying. It's like the universe will give you signals and hints when you need to answer the call and when you need to follow, in the journey that, for this example, Clark was on. She had to fight to get past certain people. It was a lot of conflict that she had to go through to get where she was trying to go because people were trying to stop her from getting to her destiny. Now, there's good and there's evil, you know what I mean? So there's going to be a lot of people that try to throw you off track. Some people, I believe, throw you off track because the universe is going to place them there to see if you're going to pass that test to keep going. And some people really intentionally don't want you to make it. Some people will just come and stand in front of you just to see if you're going to walk around or push them out your way. And some people will physically try to drag you back in the opposite direction. I hope I'm making sense, y'all. But if you are not following your calling and listening to the little signals that the universe is presenting to you, you will be uncomfortable. And a lot of times, we like to call it woke in sleep, or whatever the case. But a lot of times when you're not woke, quote unquote woke, um, you will not be paying attention to those synchronicities. And you won't know because the universe will give you synchronicities that mean more to you than it would to the next person. So just because you saw a butterfly, the next person like, girl, I don't even like butterflies, but they're going to see a ladybug, they're going to see a bumblebee, they're going to see, something that is meaningful to them. They might like wolves or dogs or cats or whatever. So they're seeing cats everywhere. So everybody's calling, everybody's purpose is going to be different. Um, but back to like being unhappy when you're on the wrong path, the universe sees all. The universe can tell when you're not happy. And I think a lot of times when if you sit down and you cry to God, you cry to your higher source, cry to your higher power, they hear you. The universe hears you. And one time when I was like I was really in the trenches of like my healing journey. This is kind of like in the beginning stages of my healing journey. Like I would say this was like 2021, 2. And I had a friend, and I told this story before on the pod, but I had a friend that I went to high school with, and it's so crazy because I guarantee she probably think the same thing about me. Um, like I didn't expect her to be on the path that she's on. Not that I expected less than. It's just I don't know. I didn't see her being spiritual. I didn't see myself being spiritual, and I just kind of look at both of us, and it's like, hmm, I see you, girl. But one of my friends from high school, one time I was like crying, and I was just like, I was writing in my journal on the side of my bed. I'm looking at the side of my bed, but that side of my bed used to love me back then, girl. Because I used to go over there, just sit by my window, sit by my altar, and just cry, honey, and just journal and do my tarot readings and just ball out, okay? But one day I was sitting there and I was like, God, please just send me somebody that care about me, somebody that like understand me, understand my mind, and and somebody like just I kind of, in a sense, was like testing the universe to see if they were listening to me, y'all. And I swear to you, I'm gonna have to go back and find this message. If I can find it, I will like clip it on the screen somewhere. But my friend from high school texted me to check on me. She's like, I just wanted to see how you was doing. And mind y'all, I'm about to cry. I'm not gonna cry for real. Mind y'all, she is spiritual AF. Like I'm she's way more spiritual than me. Like I'm spiritual, but I'm spiritual. I don't present spiritual. Like if you were to look at me, you would be like, no, she's not. Like she's the girl that's a baddie into makeup. You wouldn't think that I was. But when you talk to me, you'd be like, okay, yeah, I see where you're coming from. But it's on her outer appearance. You know what I mean? And when she messaged me, and I told her too in that message, I said, it's so crazy that I was literally just praying for somebody to like
Okay, let's
check
go ahead
on
and
me.
get to the next topic, which is having multiple soul callings. Like for me, I feel that like
I'm one person. I'm on a double mission. And I always think of the Oracle card from the Work Your Light Oracle double mission, or it might be Starseed. Um, but I'm literally on a double mission. I might be on a triple mission because I'm meant to touch people and get to people in ways that is not traditional. I do believe I like to read tarot and stuff like that. I love to, do readings, and I will, obviously do those, but I'm meant to reach people who are afraid of that. And I don't know why I just said that, but I'm meant to reach people who are afraid of spirituality, but they don't even know that they're talking to a spiritual person. And I think that's why I don't present spiritual, because it's not meant for me to do it. Like that's not my aesthetic. Like my aesthetic is, it doesn't give, like I don't have to dress a certain way to be spiritual, if that makes sense. And um my callings are to share my voice. And I'm still trying to figure that out to this day. Like I don't know exactly how God or universe want me to share my voice, but I'm doing it in every way possible to see which spaghetti sticks on the wall, okay? Because I don't know what is going to stick, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep following those signals that the universe is presenting to me, because at the end of the day, you just won't know until you try. So, just being on the pod and talking and creating beauty content, creating videos, and just showing my true authentic self. And because and that's the thing about me in my callings, is that like I have so many different parts of myself that a lot of people won't understand, because it's not meant for them to understand it. It's not meant, it's really not meant for nobody to understand it but myself. And I'm just different. Like, and I know people like, girl, everybody said they're different. I know, but I really am. Like, I'm not a one size fit all type of person. Like, I I don't fit into the normal box of what everybody want one person to fit into. Like, I'm a beauty girl, but I don't want to stay in a box of being a beauty girl, because I'm going to get uncomfortable. I am a spiritual girl, but I don't want to stay in a box of being a spiritual girl, because I'm going to get uncomfortable. I am not just I'm not just a 9 to 5 worker. I'm going to be uncomfortable. Like I'm meant to do multiple things. I'm meant to explore multiple things. And some of y'all may be like that too. Let me know down in the comments if you are. But when you have multiple soul callings and multiple purposes that you're meant to walk in this life, you will be uncomfortable. And it's not because you are not supposed to be over there in that area of life. It's just that is not where you are happy all the time. It's not something that you're like it's like doing the same thing every day. Like and I find this in myself when it comes to like working a job. Like a job literally, and I tried to test it this time at my other job, but a job literally be having like 2 years out of me. And after the second year, it's like, oh, I get so burnt out. I'm like, oh, but in the beginning, I just be loving it so much. But it's like a stepping stone to get me where I need to be.
All right, ladies, so let's go ahead and get into vibe check. So the game we're going to be playing today is what's the tea? What do you continue to do over and over but expect different results? Something that I keep doing over and over but but expecting different results. Uh in my life in general, there's a couple of things. I'm not like trying to like avoid the question. I'm really thinking. Um, I think my connections with people. I think my connections with people. Sometimes I forgive and I forgive and I forgive, and then eventually I'll stop forgiving and just won't talk to you again. But that's one thing. Is like giving chance at the chance, expecting different results. I got to work on that. Also, I think um it's so funny to say this because I'm filming this episode, but I do know that I could be doing better with my pod. And but I'm gonna keep pushing because until I know what that better is, I have to do what I know. And once I figure that better out, I will be doing it. Um, but I think that's something that I'm kind of like doing over and over. It's like my content, but it's like I have to the algorithms are constantly changing, so it's like I have to like shift and mold myself to the new algorithms. And sometimes it take me like a little minute to see like, oh, we're not doing that no more because that's not. But then again, it's like stay on your track. I don't know. It's kind of hard. Um expecting different results. I'm trying to think of everything in my life. I'm looking around like what's going on. I think just my day-to-day routines. I kind of like get up and do the same thing. Like it's been a while since I've done something different. And not like it's only been like I would say like 3 months since I've done something different because my I lost my job in like the end of February, and so that was a huge shift for me. So like right now I need to do something different because it's been 3 months and I need to like shift it up again because that was the biggest shift that like shifted my energy and kind of like what got me back on track to like filming the pods and stuff, and stuff like that. So I feel it in my spirit. Like we can go back to like the uncomfortableness of everything. Uncomfortableness is not even a word. Just being uncomfortable and like trusting the calls that the universe is sending to you. Like those little synchronicities is like the universe is starting to drop those synchronicities, and it's time for me to follow it again because I need to like you know start rowing again. That makes sense. Back to the example of the girl going across the ocean to Hawaii. The next question is what was the hardest thing about finding your purpose? I think the hardest thing about finding my purpose is that I experienced heartbreak in the midst of it. I experienced a lot of loss and heartbreak on the process of finding my purpose. But I also think that if I hadn't experienced something, so I'm a Scorpio, so everything has to be super intense with me. And just think about the death card in tarot. It's like a traumatic ending for a brand new beginning. So the Phoenix Rising, you know what I mean? It's kind of like I had to endure and go through some of the most treacherous endings in order for me to see what my purpose actually was. I think I was meant to drop all the way to rock bottom so that I can build myself up. And there's been people in my corner to help me build myself up along the way, but a lot of my healing journey came from within myself. And I believe that part of my purpose is to help other people, find that purpose as well and help other people and guide them on the right path and what they're supposed to be doing in their life and showing people the way without it being sad. I recorded pretty much my entire journey. So there was times where I was filming episodes where I was not the happiest, but I got on that camera and I faked the funk. And that could be a gift and a curse, but I do feel like the hardest part about my finding my purpose was that I had to be broken down to my core in order to be able to navigate any of what I'm going to be able to teach the world or show the world or, give advice to about. Like I had to go to the depths myself. Everything that I talk about, everything that I speak about is because I've experienced it. Everything that I'm able to give y'all advice on is because I experienced it. Um, and I'm still, cracking open to like, being open about a lot of the shit that I went through. And I'm not even talking about just physically. I'm speaking on mentally as well. Like there's a lot of stuff that I went through in the mental state, my mental health. Like it was kind of like I had to like keep pushing and just keep thriving and keep going. And I think that was the hardest part about finding my purpose. It's because I had to walk it alone. And a lot of times I didn't even realize that I was alone until I was actually physically alone in the real world. Because a lot of my purpose, when I was finding my purpose, I was around people, but I was finding my purpose and I felt alone. And once I was actually physically alone, I feel like that's when spirit and universe started illuminating a way for me. It's like this is a path for you, not for nobody else. So as long as you got people that are not meant to be on that path with you, we're not going to illuminate the way for you. You're going to be in the dark. And I think that probably was the hardest thing. It's like I had to learn to like let go of connections, relationships, just with certain people, even just with family members, even if it was for short lived, while I had to learn to let go of a lot of connections so that I can be on the path that I'm meant to be on. And I'm still in the process of doing that to this day. Like, I don't know why, like, my soul is calling me to leave my state and I don't know where to go. Like, I'm, I don't know where to go, y'all, but I think that I have to. And yeah, but I always say the hardest part about anything was for me was being alone, really. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get into girl code. So the first girl code I want y'all to take away from this video is don't be afraid to walk alone. I literally just talked about that literally. Um, and the next girl code is your purpose might change throughout your life. Your purpose is not going to always remain the same. One second you might be walking this path. The next second you might do a 360 and be walking back on another path, all because you got multiple life purposes, life paths. It's not that you're not meant to be on a certain path. It's just maybe that life lesson or that path was meant to teach you certain things, and you go over here and that's meant to teach you something, and then you go back over there and that's meant to teach you something. So you have to always be okay with being redirected. And the last girl code I want y'all to take away from this video is to try new things. Try new things. You never know what you like, what you're supposed to do, what you came here for if you don't try new things. Alrighty, y'all, but that is what we have for this week's episode. I hope you did enjoy it. Let me know down in the comments. I do apologize that this was just the audio. I know y'all noticed throughout this whole video that this was just the audio. But I either wanted it or I didn't, y'all, and I had to film it some type of way. I didn't even feel like setting up my camera. It was a little bit easier to just sit down and talk. I really just didn't feel like being on camera today. I'm about to knock out another episode right now so that I can be like a week ahead of myself too. I'm not gonna lie to y'all because like I said, I've been struggling to get the ball rolling, okay? But that is what we have for this week. I hope y'all did enjoy it and I will catch y'all back for another one. Thanks so much for watching.